Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, in this meeting I am going to tackle something called noun phrase. In previous classes I said that categorically a sentence can be divided into phrases. Noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, and adverb phrase, and a verb phrase. Well, during our discussions the day before, some students couldn't determine whether a word or a group of words in a sentence are verb phrases or noun phrases or adverb phrases, and some of them insisted that I re-explain this in some kind of details. So students, dear students taking Introduction to Linguistics, this is a good chance for you to have in-depth understanding of the noun phrase and verb phrase, adjective phrase, and so on. So, well, it depends on the time being. The noun phrase can consist of more than just the noun or the terminal. We mean by the terminal a and the. Okay, or sometimes we call them articles plus the noun. The noun is the most meaningful part of the noun phrase. It is the head of the noun phrase, and it is an obligatory constituent. If I say a man, so a man is a noun phrase. A man saw a cat. The man saw a cat. So the man is a noun phrase consisting of the terminal the and the noun cat. If I say the young man saw a nice cat, so the adjective young becomes part of the noun phrase. If I say he saw the cat, he is a noun phrase. So we have to understand that a noun phrase can't be a single word. Pronouns, okay, that is the easiest in English language. The noun phrase can consist of a pronoun such as you, he, her. Some of the personal pronouns have different forms according to their sentence position. Here we have some examples. I saw her. I saw her. So I is a pronoun. That is the subject, and it is a noun phrase. Okay, and here is an object pronoun, and it is a noun phrase. So this is an object, and that is a subject. She hit me. She is a pronoun functioning as a subject, and it is a noun phrase, and me is a noun phrase. We smiled at him. He smiled at us. Remember, if I say myself, himself, themselves, all these reflexive pronouns are considered noun phrases. If I say I myself met the man, I myself is a noun phrase, so I is the noun phrase and myself is a modifier. So it just confirms the sentence. It makes it emphatic. The above examples show that the form of the pronoun changes according to whether it is in the subject position or not. So I met her, I hit her, I saw her. Okay, she hit me. So I is subject and me is an object because it comes after the verb. Apart from personal pronouns, there are also other groups of pronouns such as indefinite, demonstratives, interrogatives, possessives, and reflexives. When I say interrogative, I mean interrogative words like where, what, possessives, like my, your, and so on, and the apostrophe s, reflexive, myself, himself, and so on. Indefinite pronouns refer to unspecified entities, such as some. Well, I saw some people. So some means that the people are indefinite. They are unspecified entities. Something. Anything. I want to buy anything. I bought something. So these, when I say I bought something, so something is a noun phrase. I want to buy anything. Anything you can buy, so anything, anyone, someone, all of them are noun phrases. So I am reminding you that a noun phrase can be a single word because, so many students think and they still believe that noun phrase should be more than a single word. Demonstrative pronouns are such as this, that, these, those. If I say this man, that man, those girls, those children, okay, these books, and so on. If I say this what I did, so remember this what I did, that he did this, he did that. So sometimes the same word function as a noun phrase. So it is an object, so you have to take this into consideration. Possessive pronouns such as mine, yours, hers, our, theirs. Reflexive pronouns are such as myself, yourself, himself, themselves, ourselves, etc. So all these are part of the noun phrase. Here we have sentence. We need to understand that two important elements in the sentence are the noun phrase and the verb phrase. Because if I say, my friend Ahmed is a teacher, so my friend Ahmed is a noun phrase and is a verb phrase. So you have to take this into consideration. So here we have a sentence. We have noun phrase, we have a pronoun, she. She means, or we say someone or who. If I say who came, so who is a noun phrase, who came. We ask about the subject. If I say someone came, and so on. Okay, verb phrase, we have the verb group, we have a transitive verb, and we have auxiliary verb, we have tense. But this is so complex, you don't need, to bother yourself understanding these things. Well, about that, we have the noun phrase here, and we have the verb phrase. The verb phrase is classified into two important parts, the verb and the noun phrase. So as you say, the doorbell. The terminal, the doorbell. The and noun, the doorbell. She rang the doorbell. She rang the doorbell. So we have a subject and we have verb. That is the predicate, al-khabar. And we have rang, that is the past verb. Okay, and the doorbell. So she rang the bell. She is a noun phrase and the door is a verb phrase. Is a noun phrase. Noun phrases can consist of one constituent, the head, for example, a pronoun, or more than one constituent, for example, determiner plus noun. Okay, what is a determiner? Determiners are like the definite article the and the indefinite articles an and a. When other constituents appear, they form part of the noun phrase. So remember that they form part of the noun phrase and are believed to modify the head noun. So they just modify the head noun. Okay, modify means يضاف إلى. Constituents which modify the head noun can appear before it or after it. If it comes before the head noun, we call it a pre-modifier, pre-modifiers. And if the elements come after the noun phrase, they are called post-modifiers. So we have pre-modifiers and we have post-modifiers. Pre-modification determiners can consist of articles, demonstratives, quantifiers, possessives, and WH determiners. You can say this man, that man, some people, 70 people, 70 discs, okay, my book, etc. Which book, okay, which man, and so on. Some determiners are the same or similar to some pronouns, such as the demonstratives. Example, some like it hot. Some is a noun phrase. It means that some people, some children, some teachers, okay, some girls like it, say it. That is an objective pronoun and that is a noun phrase. So some. I don't need to say some people. Some people like it hot. My book is on the table. Okay, we have the possessive adjective. My book is on the table. The red book is mine, so that is a possessive pronoun. This jumper is very colorful, so this is part of the noun phrase. Jumper is the head noun, so that is a noun phrase. This is really pretty, so this is a noun phrase. It's not part of it. It constitutes a whole noun phrase, which is the train to Gaza or to Spoch. Which train goes to Gaza, okay? Which train go to Ipswich, and so on. So which train, this is a noun phrase, but remember the head noun is a train here. The noun phrase is a single word, that is which. The above examples show that pronouns appear on their own to form the noun phrase. Determiners appear with the head noun. So here look, the above examples show that pronouns appear on their own, because a pronoun can function as a noun phrase. If I say, I like him, so him is a pronoun and it is a noun phrase, it is a single word. Okay, to form the noun phrase, determiners are different because they can't appear alone. They must pre-modify the head noun. The possessive determiner can also be realized as a phrase. This boy's clothes are incredibly dirty. So you can drop this, okay, but you have to remain. But you have to make the word remain, I mean boys. Okay, this boy's clothes are incredibly dirty. That is a good question. Can I drop this? Can I drop the word boys? I think yes. Because I can say the boy are incredibly dirty. I can say this. I say, okay, the clothes are dirty or are incredibly dirty. Remember, we can drop this and we can drop this word. So we can say Kate's baby is crying. So Kate's baby is crying. I would say the baby is crying or he's crying. But I cannot say Kate is crying because here we will have a different meaning. So that is the most element in the noun phrase, which is the head noun. Here, okay, the word clothes or clothes is the head noun and it is the most important constituent. In the above examples, there is an noun phrase, this boy, Kate, and a possessive s. These possessive phrases, both or genitives, take the sentence position normally occupied by the determiner. So when I say the clothes, so we must use a determiner when we say the clothes are incredibly dirty. Here we have to say the baby is crying or a baby is crying. Remember, so the determiner must be preceded by the head noun. So here we have this, okay, the clothes are incredibly dirty, okay, this boy's clothes are incredibly dirty, etc. The baby is crying, Kate's baby is crying. So you can drop the word Kate, that having the possessive s. In terms of function, remember, so this boy's clothes function as a subject, and we have the are, okay, is the verb, and incredibly is complement of subject. So that is a linking verb, that is a linking verb, okay, or you can call it verb, and here we have subject complement مكمل للفاعل. Kate's baby is crying, so Kate's baby is subject, and is crying is intransitive verb. That is intransitive verb. So once again, so you have to change or to replace that with intransitive verb, analyzing it as a determiner. Okay, so remember this. Here, as you see, you have sentence, noun phrase, and verb phrase. Any sentence must consist of a noun phrase and a verb phrase, or maybe 4 or 3 noun phrases. Here we have noun phrase, we have determiner, determined as you see. Then we have possessive, we have noun phrase, and then we have determiner, and we have noun. So the possessive as determiner is this, and that is a demonstrative. Okay. The noun phrase is boy, so we have the noun. Or you can say noun phrase is classified or is divided into 2 elements. Okay, the determiner and the noun. So we have to say the clothes. So once again, the clothes, okay, are incredibly dirty. You see this? That is the verb, okay? So this means it is a present tense. So now, incredibly dirty. Okay, you don't need to understand all these, complicated things. Just have to focus on this, that the noun phrase consists of a major element, that is the noun, and what follows are not that important. Okay, once again, Kate's baby is crying. So this is a progressive, just okay, when we say verb, okay, so we have verb here. You don't need to mention auxiliary and tense and a progressive, just okay, you draw a line, and then you write in a verb that is crying, because this is intransitive verb. So Kate's baby function as a subject, it's noun phrase functioning as a subject, and is crying is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb, if you recall, doesn't take an object because it has a complete meaning in itself. Okay, now adjective phrases are also used to pre-modify nouns. An adjective phrase can consist of one or more than one element. For example, fat, very fat, quite fat, fat enough. So these can appear within the noun phrase. If I say a man, a fat man, a very fat man. If I say an extremely strong man, as you see, the adjective and the adverb of degree very usually come before the noun, that is the head. So then the adjective phrase has the function of pre-modifying the head. The pronoun it can be used for the subject and can replace, okay, the full. So we say the dog is a noun phrase functioning as a subject. The dog, it chased the girl. The dog, it chased the girl. And then we have the fat dog, it chased the girl. So we have it chased the girl. So the point is that, dear students taking Introduction to Linguistics, we can use it instead of the fat dog and the dog. So it chased the girl, because we have a reference, because it depends on the context. Of course, we understand what it refers to. So we have subject, we have a transitive verb, and we have direct object or object. See how this noun phrase is analyzed in terms of its constituent parts. العناصر أو الأجزاء الرئيسية, how it appears on a tree diagram. We have sentence, okay, noun phrase and verb phrase. When you say the fat dog, so we have the fat dog, that is the noun phrase. So because we have the determiner, so we have determiner, and then we have adjective phrase, okay. So we have adjective, then we have fat. Here, okay, well, it is better to say noun phrase, adjective, noun phrase, adjective. There is no need for this. So then we have another row, that is noun, that is the noun dog. So the fat dog, the fat dog. That is a noun phrase. And then we move to the verb phrase. So verb phrase, we have 2 rows. For the verb, forget about all these things. They are not needed at all. So these are not needed at all because this is an introductory course. Remember, these things are not needed. So okay, from the verb phrase, you just draw a line here. So we have verb and then we have noun phrase. Verb, we have it chased. So we have subject and then we have verb. Here we have verb. And noun phrase, we have determiner and we have noun. So the determiner is a. That is indefinite article and then the noun is girl. So the fat dog, it chased a girl, or you can say the girl. So once again, sentence, we have noun phrase and verb phrase. What are the elements included in the noun phrase? We have the determiner the, we have the adjective fat, and we have the noun dog that is the head. And by the way, we can drop all these elements and use the pronoun it chased a girl. So there is no need for this. Here, okay, the verb phrase, there is no need to say verb group, transitive, intransitive. These are not important, okay, in this course or in this lesson. So verb phrase, you have to say verb. And then once again, we have noun phrase, determiner, and noun, okay, that is girl. Okay, dear students, and now we move to the next slide. Okay, therefore the 3 constituents, determiner, adjective phrase, and noun, all belong together to form one phrase, which is the noun phrase. So once again, a noun phrase can consist of 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, but necessarily it contains the head noun. However, fat and dog seem to belong together more closely than the okay, fat or the and dog. The 2 elements, fat and dog, can be replaced by 1 element. For example, let's say 1. Okay, 1. So this means that they function together at this level as a single unit or constituent. Refer to the example below. Okay, which fat dog it is the girl? That one. I mean that dog. That one, that fat dog, this fat dog, and so on. Okay, just 2 minutes to finish, dear students. Here we have once again subject, we have noun phrase, and we have verb phrase. So noun phrase, remember that we have determiner, and we have, okay, the noun. So here we have the adjective fat, then we have the noun dog. Okay, remember verb. Okay, so we have the same verb. Okay, so here we have a line. Oh, verb and then noun and phrase, determiner, noun, a girl, and so on. The constituent fat plus dog is given the label. Noun are called noun bar. It's not important to understand these complicated things, but the point is that you need to understand that a noun phrase can consist of more than 1 element, more than word, okay? Look here, we have another example. The fat brown dog. So we have 2 adjectives. We have 2 adjectives. Adjective number 1 and we have adjective number 2, okay? Adjective phrase, okay, when I say the fat brown, so we have adjective number 1 and we have adjective number 2, then we have the noun. We can say the fat brown Chinese dog. We want to finish now. Nouns are also pre-modifiers, okay? It means that they pre-modify other nouns. Example, I bought a new computer game. So I bought a new game, but what kind of game is it? A computer game. So you will find that this is a noun, maybe functioning as an adjective. So a noun can function a noun, but this is the head noun, the word game. But if you say I bought a new computer, the meaning will be different. The electricity board sent her nasty letter. The electricity board, so electricity is a noun. It is pre-modifying the noun board, so it means the board sent her a nasty letter. So the noun pre The noun and pre-modifier is so closely connected to the head noun that the two can almost be considered one word. When nouns, remember when nouns, okay, pre-modify other nouns, they always come next to the head noun. Nothing else comes between them. I bought a computer, a new game. This is absolutely incorrect. You have to say I bought a new computer game. Okay, dear students, inshallah, we will go to the next point, which is verb phrase. Thank you so much.